We go to a party.
Have you ever pondered the true meaning of success? Join us on Daily English Conversations for Upper Intermediate as we explore this fascinating topic. Each episode features thoughtful conversations and engaging practice exercises to help you gain a deeper understanding of success. Whether it's about wealth, status, happiness, or fulfillment, our podcast will guide you through various stories and experiences. Our goal is to provide motivational and informative content that keeps you eager to learn. Designed to enhance your English skills and support your personal growth journey, this podcast is your companion on the path to success. Ready to embark on this exciting adventure with us?
And everyone turns to see this beautiful lady.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Daily English Conversations for Upper Intermediate Learners. I'm Sophia, and with me today are Mason, Emily, and June. How are you guys doing today?
Hey Sophia, I'm doing great. Excited to be here and chat with everyone. Hi, Emily and June.
Hi everyone, I'm feeling pretty good and ready to dive into our topic today.
Same here. It's always a pleasure to have these conversations with you all. So, what are we talking about today, Sophia?
Today, we're diving into a topic that's crucial for personal and professional growth, defining success and setting goals. We'll break this down into a two-part series, and in part one, we'll focus on what success means to each of us and how we can set meaningful goals. Sound good?
Absolutely. That sounds perfect. Success is such a broad term, and it's fascinating to hear different perspectives on it.
Totally agree. Success means different things to different people, and understanding that can really help in setting our own goals.
Yes, and it's important to realize that success is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It's very personal and subjective.
Exactly. So, let's start with the big question. How do each of us define success? Mason, why don't you kick us off?
Sure, I'd love to. For me, success is about finding a balance between personal happiness and professional fulfillment. It's not just about reaching a high position at work or earning a lot of money, but also about having meaningful relationships and a healthy lifestyle. I believe success is achieving a sense of contentment in all areas of life.
That's a great perspective, Mason. I love the idea of balance. What about you, Emily?
For me, success is closely tied to growth and learning. I feel successful when I'm continually improving and challenging myself. Whether it's learning a new skill, taking on a new project, or even just reading a new book. It's that feeling of progress and development that defines success for me.
I really resonate with that, Emily. For me, success is about making a positive impact on others. Whether it's through my work, my interactions, or my volunteer efforts, I measure my success by the difference I can make in someone else's life. It's about leaving a positive mark on the world.
That's beautiful, June. I think a lot of people would agree with you. As for me, I see success as living a life that aligns with my values and passions. It's about authenticity and doing what makes me genuinely happy. Success means staying true to myself and pursuing the things that light me up.
Wow, those are all such inspiring definitions. It's clear that success is multifaceted and deeply personal. So, how do we translate these definitions into actionable goals?
Good question. Mason, I think the first step is to reflect on what truly matters to us. Once we have a clear understanding of our values and what we want to achieve, we can start setting specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals, or SMART goals, to guide us.
Absolutely, Emily. SMART goals are a fantastic framework. For instance, if one of my values is making a positive impact, I might set a goal to volunteer at a local charity for a certain number of hours each month. It's specific and measurable, and it aligns with my definition of success.
That's a great example, June. And I think it's also important to break down larger goals into smaller, manageable steps. This way, we can track our progress and stay motivated along the way. What's a goal you've set for yourself recently, Mason?
Well, One of my recent goals is to improve my work-life balance. I realized that I was spending too much time at work and not enough with my family and friends. So I set a goal to leave the office by 6 p.m. every day and spend at least 2 evenings a week doing something fun or relaxing with my loved ones. It's made a huge difference in my overall happiness.
That's awesome, Mason. It's amazing how setting clear goals can really help us prioritize and make meaningful changes. I've been focusing on personal growth lately, so one of my goals is to read one new book every month. It's been a great way to learn new things and keep my mind active.
Those are fantastic goals, both of you. I've been working on a goal to improve my public speaking skills. I joined a local Toastmasters club and committed to giving at least one speech every month. It's been challenging, but I can already see improvement.
Those are all excellent examples. I think it's important to remember that goals can evolve over time, too. As we grow and our circumstances change, our goals might need to be adjusted. And that's okay. It's all part of the journey.
Absolutely, Sophia. Flexibility is key, so let's talk a bit about the challenges we face when setting and achieving goals. What obstacles have you encountered, Emily?
One of the biggest challenges for me has been time management. There are so many things I want to do, and it can be hard to fit everything into my schedule. I've had to learn to prioritize and sometimes say no to certain activities to focus on my goals.
I can relate to that, Emily. Another challenge I've faced is self-doubt. Sometimes I question whether I'm capable of achieving my goals, and that can be really discouraging. But I've found that having a support system and celebrating small wins along the way helps boost my confidence.
Those are great points, June. For me, staying motivated can be a challenge, especially when I hit a plateau or encounter setbacks. I've learned that it's important to remind myself of why I set the goal in the first place and to keep the bigger picture in mind.
Definitely, and sometimes it's about finding the right strategies to stay on track. For example, I've started using a journal to track my progress and reflect on my experiences. It helps me stay focused and motivated.
That's a great idea, Mason. I've found that having accountability partners can also be really helpful. Sharing my goals with someone else and checking in regularly keeps me accountable and provides additional motivation.
Absolutely, Emily. Accountability is powerful. I also think it's important to be kind to ourselves and recognize that setbacks are a natural part of the process. It's about learning from them and continuing to move forward.
So true, June. Setbacks are opportunities for growth. And speaking of growth, let's talk about the importance of celebrating our successes, no matter how small they might seem.
Yes, celebrating successes is crucial. It reinforces our progress and keeps us motivated. Plus, it's a way to acknowledge and appreciate our hard work.
I agree. Celebrating successes can be as simple as treating yourself to something you enjoy or taking a moment to reflect on how far you've come. It's a great way to stay positive and motivated.
Absolutely. And sharing our successes with others can also enhance the experience. It's wonderful to have people around who support and cheer for us.
Definitely. Celebrating together can make the journey even more enjoyable. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. Any final thoughts on defining success and setting goals?
Just that it's an ongoing process. Our definitions of success and our goals might change over time, and that's okay. The important thing is to stay true to ourselves and keep striving for what matters most to us.
I completely agree, Mason. And remember, it's not about perfection. It's about progress and growth. Every step we take towards our goals is a step in the right direction.
Well said, Emily. And let's not forget to enjoy the journey. Success is not just a destination, but also the experiences and learnings along the way.
Perfectly put, June. Thank you all for sharing your insights and experiences. And thank you to our listeners for joining us today. Stay tuned for part 2 of our series, where we'll dive deeper into goal-setting strategies and how to overcome obstacles.
Yes, thanks for listening, everyone.
Who's walking around with me And then she asks me,
Now, we talked about defining success and setting goals. Today, we're going to take it a step further and discuss how to achieve and measure success. Let's start with achieving success. What strategies do you guys use to stay on track with your goals?
For me, a big part of achieving success is staying organized. I use a combination of to-do lists and calendar apps to keep track of my tasks and deadlines. It helps me stay focused and ensures that I'm making steady progress towards my goals.
I'm a huge fan of breaking down my goals into smaller, manageable steps. It makes the whole process less overwhelming and allows me to celebrate small wins along the way. Plus, it's a great way to maintain motivation.
I agree with both of you. Another strategy I use is visualization. I spend a few minutes each day imagining myself achieving my goals. It helps me stay motivated and keeps my goals at the forefront of my mind.
Those are fantastic strategies. I've found that having a routine really helps me stay on track. When I set aside specific times for working on my goals, it becomes a habit and I'm less likely to procrastinate.
Definitely, routines are powerful. Speaking of routines, I think it's important to include some self-care in there too. It's easy to burn out if we're constantly pushing ourselves without taking breaks.
Absolutely. Self-care is crucial. It's not just about achieving our goals, but also about enjoying the journey. What are some self-care practices you guys follow?
For me, it's about finding time to do things I enjoy, like reading or going for a walk. It helps me recharge and keeps me balanced.
I love that, June. I try to incorporate some form of exercise into my routine every day. It's a great way to clear my mind and stay energized.
I'm with you on that, Sophia. Exercise is a big one for me too. And sometimes just taking a few minutes to meditate or practice mindfulness can make a huge difference.
Those are all great practices. I also make sure to get enough sleep. It's amazing how much more productive and focused I am when I'm well rested.
Sleep is definitely key. So, we've talked about achieving success. Let's shift gears and discuss measuring success. How do you measure your progress towards your goals?
One way I measure success is by setting specific milestones. These are smaller goals that lead up to the main goal. It's satisfying to check them off and see tangible progress.
I do something similar. Mason, I also like to keep a journal where I document my progress. It's a great way to reflect on what's working and what might need adjusting.
I love that idea, Emily. I've found that getting feedback from others can also be incredibly valuable. Whether it's from a mentor, a friend, or a colleague, outside perspectives can help us see our progress more clearly.
That's so true, June. Feedback is essential. I also think it's important to revisit our goals regularly and assess whether they're still aligned with our values and aspirations. Sometimes, our priorities change, and that's okay.
Absolutely, Sophia. Flexibility is important. And it's also helpful to celebrate our achievements, no matter how small they might seem. It keeps us motivated and acknowledges the hard work we've put in.
Definitely, celebrating success can be as simple as treating ourselves to something we enjoy or taking a moment to reflect on our progress. It's all about recognizing and appreciating our efforts.
I couldn't agree more. And sharing our successes with others can also be incredibly rewarding. It's great to have a support system that cheers us on.
Yes, celebrating together makes the journey even more enjoyable. Now, let's talk about some common pitfalls people might encounter when measuring success and how to avoid them. What are your thoughts?
One common pitfall is comparing ourselves to others. It's easy to get discouraged when we see others achieving their goals, but it's important to remember that everyone's journey is different.
That's a great point, Mason. Another pitfall is being too hard on ourselves. It's natural to encounter setbacks and obstacles, but we shouldn't let them define our worth or our potential for success.
Exactly, Emily. It's important to practice self-compassion and recognize that setbacks are part of the process. They're opportunities for learning and growth.
So true, and I think it's also important to set realistic and achievable goals. If we set goals that are too ambitious, we might end up feeling overwhelmed and discouraged.
Definitely, Sophia, setting realistic goals is crucial. It's also helpful to have a clear action plan and to break down larger goals into smaller, manageable steps.
Absolutely. And staying flexible and open to change is important too. Sometimes, our goals might need to be adjusted based on new information or changing circumstances.
Yes, adaptability is key. And remember to celebrate your progress along the way. It's not just about the end result, but also about the journey and the growth we experience along the way.
Perfectly put, June. Before we wrap up, let's each share a final tip or piece of advice for our listeners on achieving and measuring success.
My advice would be to stay organized and keep track of your progress. It helps to have a clear plan and to know where you're headed.
I'd say, be kind to yourself and celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. It's important to acknowledge and appreciate your efforts.
I'd suggest seeking feedback and support from others. Outside perspectives can provide valuable insights and help you see your progress more clearly.
And I'd add, stay flexible and open to change. Sometimes, our goals might need to be adjusted, and that's okay. It's all part of the journey.
Great tips, everyone. Thanks for the wonderful discussion. And thank you to our listeners for joining us today.
Yes, thanks for tuning in. We hope you found this conversation helpful and inspiring.
Absolutely. Take care and keep striving towards your goals.
Until next time, keep learning and growing. Bye.
We go to a party